Good afternoon, everybody. This is Craig. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you're having a great week. Today, let's have a conversation about insurance, what it covers and what it doesn't cover. But before we have that conversation, do us a big favor. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Integrated Physical Therapy's own YouTube channel. Don't forget to also click that bell to make sure that you receive the latest and greatest information that we are going to release only on our YouTube channel, and that way you can receive it as soon as it's released. That'd be a great thing for you to do for us. We'd appreciate it. Thank you. So now let's talk about insurance. Insurance is one of those things where we go to the doctor, we go to the physical therapist in our case, and we get given an insurance card, and you guys are paying a tremendous amount for the premiums of your insurance, and it's the best that money can buy. The unfortunate thing is the insurance companies are publicly traded individual companies. Their job is to make as much money for their shareholders as possible. And yes, they'll cover a lot of services, but you also have to come to the understanding that there's a lot of services they're not going to cover. So let's start in the very beginning. Let's start with what's called a deductible. A deductible is the amount of money that your insurance company sets forth in a particular plan that you as the consumer has to pay up front before any money is distributed from that insurance company. In other words, if your deductible is $5,000, $2,500, or even $10,000, you have to pay that amount of money first to whichever organization. That could be to the physician, that could be to the hospital, that could be for a surgery, that could be for an MRI or an x-ray, that could be to the physical therapist office as well. The monies that you pay out of pocket go towards your deductible. And once your deductible is met at whatever that dollar amount is for your particular insurance company, your insurance will then pay a percentage, a portion of the total fees that come next for the service in which you receive. So once you've met your deductible, let's go ahead and say you've met your deductible of, again, $2,500, $5,000, even $10,000. What's next is usually called a copay. A copay is when your insurance company is what's called in-network, where there's a contract between a provider and your insurance company. In-network means that in this case, Blue Cross Blue Shield and Aetna, Medicare, these are insurance companies, along with others, that Integrated Physical Therapy, Centerline Physical Therapy that we work with here are in contract with. A copay might be the dollar amount that you pay as a percentage towards the service provided. So to use nice round numbers, let's say that the copay is $25 and the service provided is going to be paid out at a contracted rate of, say, $50. What that means is you pay $25 and then the insurance company pays the other $25, which equals the total amount payable of $50. In some cases, the copay might be the total amount of payable, payable, which would be the $50. That means you would be responsible to pay for the $50 copay, and believe it or not, we would get a check for $0.00 from the insurance company. It happens all the time. So the next confusing part of this is what's called a coinsurance. And a coinsurance is sometimes what happens when you have a percentage of what is responsible for you as the receiver of the provided service. And let's say that the service is $100 and your coinsurance is 20%. That means you would be responsible for $20 and the insurance company would be responsible for the other 80% or $80. And some insurances have copays, some have coinsurance. Oftentimes with the in-network payers, it's a copay, and with out-of-network, meaning where a contract is not in place, oftentimes you'll find the coinsurance. So let's talk about Medicare for just a moment. In Medicare, Medicare will cover 80%. If you're a contracted provider, let's make sure that's known up front, which we are here. Medicare will cover 80% of the allowable billable amount. That means you're responsible for the 20%. That could be, generally speaking, anywhere between $20, $25 per visit. Oftentimes, Medicare clients, Medicare patients, will have what's called a rider or a coinsurance or a secondary insurance. What that usually does is it covers the deductible for the year as well as the 20%. Now, those are through private insurance companies, and each one has their own policy and their own providers. So you need to be very, very diligent to make sure that you're receiving what, in fact, you really think you are. So here's the question. When do you need to have insurance? When don't you need to have insurance? When do you use your insurance? When don't you use your insurance? These are all individual questions that you need to think about as a receiver of services. If you're young, if you're healthy, if you're athletic, if you don't go to the doctor very often, you might want to opt for what's called a catastrophic insurance plan, where your premiums on a monthly basis are very low, but you have a very high deductible. That means you're not going to use the insurance very often, but I would recommend that you take extra money, place it into an account that your deductible can be held within. That way, in a situation of an emergency, you can afford to cover your deductible and at the same time receive the services you have without having a financial debt for medical services later on in the road. If you're somebody that has a medical issue, if you're somebody that has an injury that might need surgery, you might need an insurance with a higher premium, monthly premium, but a much lower deductible, even a lower copay. And what that will allow you to do is have less money out of pocket. That'll allow you to pay a $25 copay for the service in which you will receive 2 to 3 times a week after a joint replacement, a knee replacement, a spine surgery, or if there's a chronic pain scenario that needs to be addressed on a regular basis each week. So when you are taking a look at insurance, it's important to know what you are going to use it for. Remember, the insurance is there in case you need it. So you have to weigh the risk and the reward. Do you need the insurance because you have chronic pain, because you have a hip replacement surgery coming up? Or if you're very healthy and don't use the insurance very much, you might go the other way. So it's extraordinarily beneficial that you have a good understanding of what you're looking for in an insurance company. When you decide to go with an insurance company, many of them today have benefits online that you can take a look at. You can enroll in their systems, which we highly encourage you to do, so you can check your benefits as you go along. It does take some time for the system to be updated. In other words, if you visit the physician's office and they send a bill to the insurance company, it might take a few weeks for that bill to show up online. But the next time you use your insurance, you'll have information there that shows exactly how much you paid towards your deductible, what your copay is, and how much benefit you might have left for the rest of the year. And that's another important aspect. How much benefit do you have? In the physical therapy world, most insurances limit you to a certain number of visits, and that could be per calendar year, per injury, or in the case of Medicare, who in this past couple years has said there's no real limit on physical therapy. However, there's a dollar amount in which you then have to apply towards basically asking Medicare's board if this is medically necessary. If they say yes, they'll pay for it. If they say no, then it becomes your responsibility to pay for it. So how do you choose your insurance plan? There's a lot of different things to look for. Look at your deductibles, look at your premiums, look at the copays and coinsurance, and what benefits are offered in that plan throughout that calendar year. It's extraordinarily important if you have a family. Does it cover your children? Does it cover the adults in the family? Up until what age are your children covered? The new laws allow for coverage up till 26. Some plans may or may not allow for that depending on the a la carte nature of that plan. So when you take a look at your insurance, know what you're talking about. If you're not sure, ask. Use integrated physical therapy and advanced therapeutic care as a reference point. This is something that we do on a daily basis here. If we don't know the answer, we can help find you a proper broker, somebody who works in the insurance world, who knows how to do this in and out on a daily basis, and we can point you in the right direction. If we don't know the answer, we are not far above from saying we don't know, and we'll find the right person for you. So keep in mind, Know what your deductible is. The higher your deductible, the lower your monthly premium is going to be. The lower your your deductible, the higher your premium is going to be. Take a look at what your copays are. Take a look at what your co-insurances are. Take a look at your number of visits per calendar year, and make sure you're asking the right questions to make sure that you are covered. In an emergency situation, there might be a separate deductible for the emergency room. There might be a separate max out-of-pocket that you need to meet before the insurance company stops requiring you to pay copays or co-insurances. It's a very confusing topic. I hope this has helped you. There is information on our website at iptmiami.com in the frequently asked questions. It's the first tab right there on how to look at your insurances. I hope this information is available to you. Ask us any questions if you have, and don't forget to please subscribe to our YouTube channel and click that bell to make sure you receive updates on a regular basis. Have a great day. Take care.